Hey, what's going on, everybody on YouTube? Steve here with Raiken Profit over at RaikenProfit.com, coming back to you guys with another live show. And for today's live show, we're going to be talking about the 10 biggest mistakes to avoid while selling on Amazon FBA. And we're here with a special guest, not only a really awesome seller, but a good friend of mine and, a well-trusted YouTuber who's been making content for years now, and just someone I really look up to. And, we've collaborated before on different shows. My buddy Rob Anderson of the Dollar Moves YouTube channel. And again, he has a YouTube channel, Dollar Moves, website, DOLLARMOVES.com. A lot of awesome content. But yeah, what's going on, Rob? How are you doing, man? Thanks for coming on the show.
Hey, Steve, thank you so much for having me, man. I'm stoked we finally got this to work, and we are rocking and rolling. I'm excited to share some great content with your viewers and, yeah, hopefully help them avoid some of the pitfalls that, a lot of new viewers or new people, including myself in the beginning, had. So hopefully we can do that and help some people out.
Absolutely. Yeah. We were supposed to do this live show, I believe, 2 or 3 weeks ago. And, I was talking to Rob before the show. I learned a very valuable lesson. And this is a lesson for you guys to apply in your Amazon business as well. When things go wrong, when hits the fan, I'm not going to say the word, think about how you could avoid it next time, what you learned from the situation. And, I was at the casino about 3 weeks ago, and I was planning to do the live show there. They had high-speed internet, quote unquote. That's what they said. Mm-hmm. And I didn't have any backup plans if the internet didn't work, if it was slow. And when we went to go do the show with Rob, he was there in Google Hangouts. I mean, it was like a robot trying to communicate. It was so slow. And my mistake was I didn't have a backup plan. I didn't have a plan to go to Starbucks. I didn't have a plan for any other options. And anyways, that's kind of the story behind it. And, try to use that for your other businesses. But with that being said, yeah, we're going to talk about the top 10 mistakes that Rob's made in his Amazon FBA reselling adventure. And I think anybody out there, whether they're a guru or just an awesome seller making money or just an average person making money, there's always mistakes that we go through, right? Whether it's eBay, Amazon, Craigslist, but especially Amazon, there are mistakes that we all go through and we learn from. And we look back in the past and we say, only if we would have done things differently, I could have made that much more money. I could have been that much more efficient. I could have saved that much more time. So yeah, with that being said, Rob, why don't we jump into the first mistake out of 10? We're going to be going 1 through 10. The first mistake was your sourcing methods. And do you mind touching on maybe some of the mistakes you made in terms of sourcing for your Amazon FBA business when you first got started?
I would say when I first got started, as far as when you talk about like thrift and garage sales, finding things that I thought were going to sell, but not realizing that I couldn't sell them on Amazon. So you really have to watch out for that. And also you want to make sure that anything that you have that you sell is new. If you're getting it and it's in the plastic, if the plastic, the shrink wrap on it, you're getting it from a garage seller or thrift and you're selling it as new, it needs to not have holes, things like that. The corners need to be pristine and not like beat up, it's how some stuff can get thrown around and not look new. And really what's super important about like when you're first starting out, I would recommend you go wide and not deep. Buy a bunch of little stuff, try and start figuring it out. Really get your process going on.
How did you first get started when you started your FBA business? Wasn't it books? Were you sourcing from thrift stores primarily?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Books were thrift stores, some garage sales, but yeah, a lot of thrift. And it's funny because right now, I don't know if you know this, but I've started another business with my brother, an Amazon business. And so we're literally it's like starting new. And so we're doing books right now. We just sent in 70 books using Scan Power and trying all this stuff out. So it's weird to go back to 5 years ago and be like, oh yeah, all this stuff is like new again. So it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, there's a lot of people in the comments section right now chit-chatting about mistakes and their learning lessons. And for the folks watching live, again, if you are on the desktop, look over to the right-hand side of the screen. There's a live chat with a bunch of like-minded resellers like you chit-chatting. Also, if you are on a cell phone, look down below. There should be an option for you to open up the comment section as well. But there was a comment I wanted to read. Louis the Seller says, I need this, ... I've made about 20 mistakes. I think I've made about 20,000 mistakes.
Yeah, buddy. That's how you get good.
Yeah, Florida BSD says, please click on the like button and support Raiken Profit in the green room and support Dollar Moves. I appreciate that. Good Used Good says one of the best things I've ever done for my business is make mistakes. What do you think about that, Dollar Moves? Do you think it's good for your business to make mistakes? Because there's so many people who are like, I'm not going to try anything new. I'm not going to try that new product. I'm not going to switch from garage sales to thrift stores because I can make a mistake. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah. As long as it's not the mistakes that will get your account suspended, I totally agree. If you think that doing mistakes means sending in stuff that looks beat up or already open and selling it as new, that's not the kind of mistake you want to make. But as far as like if a mistake, see, I think there's a difference between mistakes and just trying something new that didn't work. You know what I mean? Because if you try out buying a bunch of stuff, there's going to be a bunch of mistakes. We all have duds. I mean, it happens. You go into a store, you go scanning. There's times where we all whiff and we leave after a couple hours going, I got nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So as far as that goes, it's like, yeah, doing that. I think that you need to make those kind of mistakes to get good.
Yeah, I definitely agree completely. We've got Golden Finger Picker in the comments section with the Reseller Society. What's going on, Chad? Good to see you in here. Let's see. What's going on? Garage Flips. Making a mistake twice is what I try to avoid. Yeah, I think that's really, really good advice there. And so many times, in my reselling adventure, I've made mistakes and I didn't really think about it. Like I kind of got upset and then it happened again and the third time. And I think one of the real keys is, being really conscious of making mistakes. When you make a mistake with shipping or something goes wrong or an item gets returned, or maybe you go to a store and you don't find anything, try to think, what could I do differently the next time? What caused me to get this results? Because usually it's a cause and effect type of deal. Maybe if you're going to thrift stores, you're not finding anything, maybe the effect was, you didn't spend enough time studying the sold listings or, researching or watching YouTube videos. But with that being said, that was number one right there. Let's go on to number two. And we're not going to dive super deep into this because, we're not CPAs, we're not accountants, we're not lawyers. So this is just advice from two guys trying to make it work. But bookkeeping and taxes, did you make any big mistakes, maybe in terms of trying to do everything on your own instead of hiring a professional or someone else? Can you touch on this a little bit without going too deep?
Absolutely. So as far as bookkeeping goes, I totally screwed up. I made this Excel spreadsheet and I thought I was doing everything right. And I'm like putting down the stuff that I thought my bookkeeper would want in it. And I hate bookkeeping. I'm just gonna tell you straight up. I've always said it. I'm not a fan of bookkeeping at all. And I did this whole thing and come to find out in the end, I didn't have all the information my bookkeeper needed. So I ended up getting the basic eSales bookkeeping spreadsheet back then, and which is still relevant for like eBay sellers and Amazon sellers, but you put each one in by hand. So if I had to do it now, I couldn't do it. That's, to me, it's just, I'm beyond that. But so I had to take all my old information and put it into there, a year's worth. It was hell twice. You know what I mean? And as far as taxes go, I totally recommend talking to your CPA. Let your CPA let you know what your tax liabilities are. Let them tell you, whatever they think. They're the counsel, because I don't know. I'm not a tax professional, and that stuff bugs me too. I don't like that. I don't like bookkeeping, and that's why I have people that take care of that for me.
Yeah, a lot of the most successful people in the world say the reason why they became successful is because they focus on their strengths and they outsource their weaknesses, and
Right.
maybe bookkeeping or taxes isn't a weakness for you guys watching, you guys and gals. But if you don't enjoy it and you want to be able to focus on things that, maybe are fun or that help you to grow your business, really look into outsourcing as much as possible. One good resource for tracking your cost of goods and expenses and equipment and stuff like that is GoDaddy Bookkeeping. I believe that's what it's called. That's what I use. So check that out. But like Rob said, hire a professional. There are some really good Facebook groups out there. I'm not sure. Are you a part of that one e-commerce accounting Facebook group, Rob?
No, I'm part of Accounting We Will Go. That's a Facebook group as well, and that's a really good one too.
Okay, so I'm going to link that up below after the show because I am a part of one as well, and there's some good advice in there. But definitely check out, interview some accountants, some CPAs, and I'm a part of this one group that actually has a whole thread on like all the top questions to ask when you're interviewing a CPA. So I'm going to link that up.
Good.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to link that up.
When you're finding those people, make sure that they aren't talking over your head, because I've got a great lawyer, a business lawyer, and a great CPA, and they're both teachers. And if I start to go, like, my eyes will glaze over quick, especially when it's accounting. Legal is a little better, but accounting, I just go, yeah, whatever.
I remember you made a video about it before about an accountant or somebody talking down to you.
Yeah, well, there was a point where I've had that before, and it's like, but my accountant now, I swear, I go in there and I talk to him for like 3 hours. He only charges me for an hour because we just dig each other so much, and he's like entrepreneur guy, and so we're like just jamming off each other. It's really, really cool. So, and I will say too, you were talking about different programs and stuff. I do use Inventory Lab for my main business for cost of goods and stuff like that, and that has enough information now that I don't have to do all the spreadsheet stuff that I was talking about before. It's all done in Inventory Lab. And as I was telling you before, or actually just a minute ago, that we started this new business, my brother and I, Amazon business, and now ScanPower has that same information. They do the accounting. So we're starting that business with that to see how the difference is and everything. So it's nice to have that now, because when I started, that wasn't available. It's just like, good luck, buddy, you know?
Yeah, that's really good. Really, really good advice right there, guys. And if you want to grow your business, you've got to build that strong foundation, right? You got the strong foundation. Not only is it going to include, having a strong team like an accountant, but having your goals, being focused. That foundation is key if you want to build anything substantial over the long term, something that lasts for more than just a couple of months. So definitely get your team together. Number 3, the third biggest mistake to avoid when selling on Amazon, and a mistake that we've both experienced, and this is something that I've kind of gotten into about, 6 or 8 months ago, and I know you talked about it on the Green Room show with App Eagle, was repricers. Actually getting a repricer in your Amazon business. Could you real quick explain what a repricer is and why you feel that was a mistake that you didn't get one sooner?
Absolutely. So what a repricer does is you send your products into Amazon, and normally if you don't have a repricer, you're going to have to go in there and manually look at what the prices are and then price against other Amazon sellers. And so if you have, especially if you're doing books or you have a lot of like thrift stuff or just a lot of stuff, you can spend hours and sometimes days just repricing. I mean, there were times where I was down in California and my family was going to Six Flags while I'm repricing all day. Boo, right? And this was like 4 years ago, 5 years ago. And I just got a repricer, probably, I think now it's been like 4 months, App Eagle, and they are awesome. And what it does is the one that I have, it will constantly reprice. You set up limits of a minimum price that it won't go below, and then a maximum price that it won't go above, and it will reprice competitively against other sellers. And you can decide like which types of sellers you want to price against, if you're pricing against just the buy box, etc. And App Eagle has been awesome. So yeah, they're very, very cool.
Awesome, man. Yeah, I know you're using App Eagle, which is a little more expensive for the people who are watching. I hear it's the best. I've never used it before, but I've talked to a lot of my friends and colleagues, and they say App Eagle is one of the best repricers out there. But again, it's going to be a little more pricey. So my suggestion for the folks who are watching who are brand new and maybe you don't have a ton of inventory, maybe you only have a couple hundred, check out Reprice It. Repriceit.com. That's the repricer I use, and I have a little over 1,000 in my inventory, and I believe it's about $17 per month. So I know App Eagle is probably a little more money than that, right? Is it 50 or I know I have a buddy.
It's 150 per month.
It's 150. Okay.
But it's constantly like it's every single all day. Like right now, it's repricing. If someone else reprices, it's repricing right now. Everything, all my stuff. So it's not once an hour. It's not once a day. It's not 3 times a day. It's like all day, every day, repricing, making it competitive. So it's super cool. And Amazon just came out with their repricer too.
Did they?
Yeah, they have that going now too. So
when did that come out?
It's been, they've been talking about getting it out. They said it was going to be out to everyone by the end of May. So it is on there right now. At least on one of my Amazon accounts it is. So
interesting.
Yeah, and it's really very, very basic. It's like you can set a minimum, a maximum, and you can there's a couple other things, but not very much customization. But hey, it's better than nothing. It's way better than sitting there repricing on your own. So
Exactly, exactly. So that's really cool right there. We're about 15 minutes into the show, and I wanted to just thank everybody for coming to the show right now. We've got about 60, actually, we just hit 70 people live right now watching, and it's a
Right
little
on.
bit of an awkward time. People are probably coming home from work or just sitting down for dinner. So I didn't expect to have a ton of people watching, but I want to thank everyone for watching. I know there's a million other things you could be doing, but you're here learning with Rob and I. I just want to thank you. So if you're finding value in this video, smash that like button, guys. Come on. We only
That's
got
right.
15 likes right now, guys. Hit the
Oh,
like
hit
button
that.
or even hit the dislike button. Show some love either way because it's still going to promote this video out. We were making a joke before the show. And it's funny, my buddy Dustin, who's a good friend of mine, says, I disliked the show to support you, Steve, because I made a comment before.
That's
um, yeah,
hilarious.
so thanks everyone for watching, guys. Smash that like button. Let's go on to mistake number 4. So we talked about the first 3 mistakes, which was sourcing. We talked about bookkeeping for number 2. Number 3 was not getting a repricer soon enough. And number 4 is not consistently shipping in new products to Amazon FBA. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I definitely like what I try and do right now is ship at least a shipment out a week. That's what I go for. Sometimes it's more. And if I get lazy, sometimes it's less, but usually it's about a shipment a week. I found that with FBA, it gets so easy to feel like the money's coming through, like all this work you did in the past is kind of paying you right now. And if you're doing really well, like it's easy to kind of get, just lackadaisical and just be like, oh yeah, money's going to keep coming in. But it's not, it's going to slow down. So you got to keep
So
sending
true.
stuff in and keep feeding the beast, like they say. I mean, that's the only way you're going to make your money. So yeah, consistently shipping in new products is a huge thing.
Yeah, there's such a strong correlation between shipping more products in and making more sales. And eventually you guys are going to get to the point, if you're not already there, where you kind of know how many items you have to ship in per week to maintain and grow. For example, for me, if I'm shipping in at least 50 products based on the types of items I purchase from pawn shops, thrift stores, retail stores, garage sales, I could typically maintain my sales. If I get more towards 100 plus, I could typically continue to grow my sales and hit my goals on a monthly basis. But for example, probably over the last 3 weeks, I've been very inconsistent with my shipments. I had my buddy Jameson over for a week, who is on a 100-day road trip for Amazon FBA. And
Nice.
then a week before, I kind of just like, I don't know, I just wasn't shipping in much. And I haven't shipped in much over the last 3 weeks, and my sales are down. They are down,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's because I'm not shipping in enough. So number 4, not consistently shipping in enough products. Number 5, big mistake that a lot of sellers make when they are selling on Amazon, and this is a mistake that I made for the longest time, was not understanding ranks, not understanding how they work, not understanding the differences in between categories and ranks. Do you mind touching on that a little bit, Rob?
Yeah, I kind of have different ranks that I do in different categories, but I really would say overall it seems that I'm like in the 5 to 10% of the rank. So in books, like, and it really depends on how fast you want to move something. But I like, for instance, my normal book thing, if someone says, well, you sell books, what's a good rank? I would say, up to 1 million. If you want it to move fast, do like 500,000 and less, but up to 1 million is about where I stop. If a book is worth over $50 or more, I'll go, 2-3 million or whatever. Cause if I'm paying $2 for it, it's worth waiting for. Now, ranks can be skewed by different times of the year. Q4 is going to totally throw off ranks. So all the toys are going to have killer ranks in Q4. So when January comes around, those ranks don't really make sense. Or when you go into January, you're going to go in and be like, oh, all these toys have great ranks, where they were great for December because they sold a ton in December. So you have to watch out for that. Another thing too, if there's nobody that is selling that product, or if there's no offers, the rank's going to be super high because you can't, there's no offer there. So it's just going to sit there in like nowhere land, and the rank's going to go crazy. So if you find something that could be there, that might be a great thing. If there's no FBA sellers, that's another thing, So I mean, I look for those things, and there's times where, for the most part, I stay, like I said, 5 to 10%, but I'll do those outliers. If it's a big payout, and if there's no one else selling it, I'll jump in and do that.
I'm really glad you touched on that last point. If there's no FBA sellers, because again, that rank may be just a big illusion right there,
Mhm.
especially if you have a product that has a lot of reviews. Say it has, maybe it's a VHS and it has, 300 reviews on it, and it's a 4.5 star, and it's older, and it's vintage, and there's no sellers, but it's at like 600,000 rank, which isn't that great in VHS. I'm still buying that because it's proven that customers like it. It's a good product, and I want to put popular, well-selling products in my store. So don't 100% go by the rank. Rank doesn't mean everything. So that's a
Speaking of that, I sold a VHS that was like some sort of golfing VHS for 50 cents. I paid for it. It was like 4 million, and I sold it for about $80. So
wow.
yeah, I know.
So
And so you never know, but there was no one else out there. There was no FBA. I think there were one or two merchant fulfilled, no FBA, but it's like that return's ridiculous.
Speaking of golf stuff, golf VHS, golf instructional videos from like the 80s and 90s, I've done really well with them.
That's what this one was. It was something to do with like a guy that has some sort of glove that goes with the swing. I don't know. I have no idea. And mine was new in the package. So yeah, it was awesome. I was like, and that was probably 3 or so years ago, but I was just like, you got to be kidding me.
So you paid 50 cents and it sold for 80, you said?
Yeah.
Now, I know you're no math wizard, but what's the ROI on that?
Ridiculous. I'll take it all day long, every
Infinity.
single
The
day.
infinity sign.
I would buy as many of those as I could.
So if there were 100 of them sitting there at a 4 million rank, would you buy them all considering how
At
long it
50
would take?
cents, yeah.
Yeah.
50 cents. I mean, 50 bucks. Yeah.
All
I
right,
sell one of them and I make all my money back.
exactly. And then you can learn how to play golf. Mistake number 6. The 6th big mistake, another mistake that I've made, and can only imagine how much money I've lost out on over the years by not doing this. Mistake number 6, not getting ungated and gated off categories on Amazon FBA. And luckily for Mama Profits, who said she was going to be watching because she's literally your biggest fan. And
She's the best.
before the show, she's like, Steven, you got to tell him I really like his hair. So live on YouTube, Mama Profits likes your hair.
Thank you, Mama Profits. I appreciate it.
You better keep your hands off her. No, I'm just kidding.
This is it. Just hello.
But number 6, getting ungated. I got Mama Profits ungated and all the stuff. So I wanted to mention that. So if you don't have someone to get you ungated, would you recommend getting ungated in categories? And if you don't know how to do it, how would you recommend getting ungated?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's so easy right now to get ungated. I totally recommend it. I mean, the more things that you can sell, the more opportunities there is. So there's really no downside to getting ungated. If you get ungated, make sure that you know the terms of, if you're going to sell in shoes, know what the terms of service are for that category. If you're going to sell in, because the easy ones to get into right now are shoes, clothing, luggage. I'm sure I'm missing some.
Like watches, right?
Watches and jewelry. Yeah, those are all easy to get into. And actually, I made a couple of videos in my video a day in May. And so if you want to see how to get ungated, I got a super easy video. You can go to dollarmoves.com/YT approve myself. So that's dollarmoves.com/YT approve myself. And that just shows you, like, it's got a link on how to go right to the page that you click on whatever you want. And then I actually made a shoe walkthrough because I made that new account. So I did a screen cap of just going through and like how I answered all the questions and stuff. So if you're interested in that, you can find that at dollarmoves.com/YT shoe approval. And that's dollarmoves.com/YT shoe approval. But yeah, everyone should get ungated in as many things as, even if you don't think you're going to use it, what's it going to hurt? Because maybe you do. Maybe you come across somebody who has like a huge thing of shoes they want to get rid of, or they're closing down a shoe shop, and they'll sell them to you for $1/4 a pair or something. I mean, if you're not ungated in it, and this will change, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
Ungated being easy right now, this isn't normal. Like, I didn't even know this was so easy until I started making a video about it. And I was like, oh my God, like, you can get ungated, like, in the stuff I paid money to get ungated for. You know what I mean? So get out there and do it now. I recommend it highly. Don't wait.
It's only going to get harder, guys. And it's not just like, for example, you'd think, if I want to get into shoes, then I'd have to get into retail arbitrage and drop all this money, and I don't want to do it, which is fine. Some people like to, spend $1 and make 20. But for example, I was at a garage sale the other day and came across a pair of brand new women's shoes in the box, had the barcode, scanned it up, and it was going for $40 and I paid $3. And if I wasn't approved in shoes, I'd have to put it on eBay and I probably would make half of it plus shipping. So, get approved, guys. Some of the folks out there who have been selling for a while, you may have already been kind of like grandfathered into different categories like health and beauty, grocery, DVDs. I know people who are getting approved, but if you're not approved, now's the time. Make it happen. Let's jump into mistake number 7. Mistake number 7, not experimenting with new products and just kind of sticking with what you know. Have you made any mistakes in terms of, maybe when you first got started, you were kind of scared to grow and you kind of just stuck with what you knew?
Yeah, I would say probably, like mine's been a progression of like starting with books, and even like books were just the only thing, and then going into like games and things like that in the used section, and VHS and DVD and stuff. And, every time the progression was a little tougher, especially in the beginning, because it's like, oh, I know I got money over here in books. I know it. And it's like, it's kind of like when you like to snowboard and everyone says, try skiing for a day. It's like, but dude, I'm going to miss a killer day of snowboarding. You know what I mean? And so trying those new products, it is a little tough. But one thing that really propelled me in that's helped me a lot is when I've gone and been totally skunked. When I go to a store and I can't find anything and I'm frustrated and I'm like, I need to just like get away from this, I go look at other things. That's my go-to. Like I go look at other things after I've been skunked. And that's when I found the most new best products. I like to go in areas I never even look at because I'm already pissed off. So I might as well just, if I'm wasting my time anyway, and then I usually find like the jackpot.
Sometimes getting pissed off and being, not being content and just saying, what, this isn't the way that I want my business to run. Like that feeling of just that anxiety, I need to find something, bringing you into other parts of the store, that could allow you to learn and grow. And that's happened to me before too. I just, I got sick and tired. I mean, I remember when I started off with bicycles on Craigslist. I didn't know anything about eBay or Amazon. And I was so upset that, it was wintertime in Connecticut and I couldn't sell bikes anymore. And that frustration pushed me into learning about selling clothing on eBay. And then when I kind of got bored of that, or, I wanted to get into other things, that frustration, me getting pissed off in a sense, kind of moved me into Amazon and Kindle publishing. So, use your emotions to your advantage. Let's dive into number 8. Number 8 is great. Limiting beliefs, listening to the naysayers, surrounding yourself with energy vampires, negative people. I think this is something that we kind of all make the mistake of, and we surround ourselves with people who maybe aren't completely aligned with us. Have you ever been in any situations like this, maybe with family or friends or?
For me, it's been mostly because I came into Amazon as already a business owner. So I didn't have the people going like, who do you think you are to be boss or whatever? You know what I mean? It's like, I got over all of that crap before. So it's like, when I came into it, I didn't get a lot of that, but even to this day, I still sometimes get oh, you have a little Amazon hobby thing. You know what I mean? Like it's not a real business, but yeah, there's going to be people out there where I've seen it most is like online, where people are just like, oh, you can't do this, or saying, in certain categories that the worst is getting information from these people that have never tried it. You know what I mean? It's like, you don't learn about buying a house from talking to a renter. You know what I mean? And it's that same thing, like people that don't have businesses that haven't had success, they love to tell you what won't work. The people
how I would do it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, and they tell you, how I would do. I love those people. And it's like, so what do you do? Why don't you try that? Oh, I can't. Then they tell you all the reasons they can't.
I've got a good friend who loves to give all this business advice. He's got advice for every business. This is how you should do it. This is how it's properly done. And, he's a friend of mine, so I don't want to break his heart, but he's never run a single business in his life, Right. So again, don't take your legal, accounting advice from 2 guys on YouTube. Go see a CPA, right? If you want advice on how to run a business, a small business, align yourself, get into the Facebook groups, watch the YouTube videos, listen to podcasts. You don't necessarily have to have somebody there in the flesh. to be able to say that, I'm aligned with people like that. There's, we're in the information internet age. It's so easy to create masterminds and get around like-minded people. And I really do believe it helps. Number nine is fine. Education. And this kind of stems from what we were talking about before with, surrounding yourself with like-minded people, YouTube, podcasts, all that stuff. But do you feel that you could have maybe educated yourself more, or let me rephrase that. Do you feel that you could have made more money if you had taken more courses, or do you feel that your business grew faster when you went to seminars? I'm trying to phrase this properly.
Well, for me, I was really lucky because I had never sold online. I had a service business that was face-to-face. Everything was face-to-face. And so to sell online to me still seemed like maybe that was garbage. Like maybe that's not even a true thing. And so I was really scared. Like I could drive these $2 million buses around a parking lot, but when it came to like selling online, it scared the crap out of me because I didn't know, like, does this work? Am I just going to waste my money? But for me, I was lucky. I started out with Jim Cochran's Proven Amazon course.
Okay.
It had just came out. And so for me, I really needed that. I needed to know how to set everything up, how to go along. It was really great. Chris Green, Bob Willie, Jordan Malik was up in there. I mean, there are all these great people, Skip McGrath. These were all people in the forums. And, I couldn't have asked for people that were more like, they give you the information that's not going to get you suspended. You know what I mean? And they were all helping out. So really, like for me, I think I was just in the right place at the right time. Like out of desperation, I found it, and it's been great. And yeah, I highly recommend education. I tell that to people all the time. That's why, like, I know you've got the servant's heart thing too, where it's just like you want to just give and help people out. And it's like, that's what I do on my website, and I tell people, because people will be like, oh, you're just pushing this because of blah, blah, blah. It's like, dude, I tell people all the time, buy it without my affiliate link. It's going to help you. Like the only reason I'm doing this is to help you out. It's to help that learning curve get shorter. And everyone has their own different way of learning. I get that. Some people just got to beat their head against the wall. And I'm an entrepreneur. I'm the kind of guy who, by heart, like by my essence, I want to beat my head against the wall and show how I can do it and show how it's done, But I found that learning other people's mistakes and how they got past them can accelerate your success so fast.
Yeah, that's really huge. And I could contribute a lot of my success to the same thing, to the education, to getting around the right people, to learning, and to giving back and having my YouTube channel. I've learned so much by giving, and
Absolutely.
not only in terms of earning money, but I've met some amazing people through YouTube that have allowed me to learn things that I never could have ever imagined. So start up a YouTube channel, or start up a Facebook group, or get involved. It's really, really big. Education is definitely key. And, if I went back in time when I had first transitioned from eBay to Amazon, I wish that I would have taken Jim Cochran's course, or read, Arbitrage by Chris Green earlier, because those are just such amazing resources. Number 10, and this is something that I feel like that I fell into the trap of more than you, because I've seen your channel, your YouTube channel, and all the different review videos you've done talking about scanners and phones, but getting the right equipment. I tell you right now, I could honestly say I've probably lost out on tens of thousands of dollars on books by scanning with this versus scanning with my scan fob. So with that being said, let me toss it over to you, man. Take control of this one.
Okay, dude. So here's the thing. Like everyone thinks that because you're putting this stuff on YouTube that it's not real stuff. And it's like, it's a world of difference. I recommend stuff because it can help people. A scanner just over your phone is going to probably, now the scanning capabilities of phone have gotten faster. Sure. So I would say you probably at least 4 times it before they got good. Like if you have a scanner versus a phone, now I would say it's probably maybe 2, maybe. But I mean, if I have a book and all I got to do is pull it out 2 inches and go chink, 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 it's so fast.
At least 4 times faster than this thing. I'm telling you, man.
Absolutely. I would say it might even be faster. But the reason I say 4 times is that my brother and I started our businesses at the same time. We'd go to the same thrift shops and we would take carts back to the book section. And I would end up with 4 times his amount every time.
Yep.
And he would just leave like, oh, you know what I mean? Like so bummed out. And that was using, back then, I think it was FBA Power, but Scan Power's live lookup. Now I use I use repricers through NitoScan, which is a database on my phone with my laser scanner. And so it's literally, the database is in my phone. So it's scan, boom. It's not like look it up online and come back down. It's like scan. Oh, hey, it's in my phone. And so, like I said, we just started our business. Well, he's on a live lookup. I'm on my repricer, and it's like he's going through one stack of shelves, just one little area, and I'm like going through 4 or 5, and he's just like, holy crap, I got to get on the data, because it's night and day. Tools are great if you get the right tools, and the stuff I recommend is going to help. It helps you either have products going out looking better. It's going to make things faster. I have a tool up in my room, a couple things like this tape dispenser. I don't know if you've got one of these, but it's got the tape dispenser for like the 2-inch tape and then a regular tape right there. So you can just like right at your desk, just like take it off, and just, if you need just little pieces for maybe the edges of poly bags or whatever, instead of pulling it off your tape gun. It's great. Check it out on my website. But it's like, and there's another one where it's like when I was doing a lot of multiples, and you have like all those tags that say, this is a set, do not separate and whatever. I've got like this thing on my table that has like all these different little tags, and like it's also got my my poly bag or my plastic bag warning, like all these little things, man. Make it faster. The gun thing on your do you have the stand for your laser scanner for your computer?
It's funny. I do, but I can't figure out how to get it to, when you put it on, I can't figure out how to keep it so it automatically just keeps the scanner. I felt so stupid, but I couldn't figure it out.
Yeah, that's weird. So I know some people have had problems with that. I'd contact the people and see, but that's huge when you can just take a book and go boom. You don't have to pick up each time. Like those seem like little things.
They add up.
Multiply it. Yeah, I mean, if I'm listing, 150 shoes, and I've got to pick up every time, and I got to do this and this and this, and I mean, it's huge. So yes, tools, get the, but here's the thing. Don't get every single tool. You don't need every single tool. You don't need the dispenser for the little things until you've got a bunch of labels to dispense them. You may not need the shrink wrap thing. If you're doing books, you don't need it. You could get poly bags, whatever. Let your business afford the tools as you need them. Start making a list of like pains as you're going along. Maybe you've seen tools that would work for your business. Write down, man, I want to get this tool next. When the business gets to this point, I want to get these tools, and get them. If you can afford them and you don't get them, you're just going to kick yourself. You're going to kick yourself for not doing it. And once you get them, right?
Man, I got bruises all over my butt and all over my body from just kicking myself over these years, man. For some reason, I kind of get, just to be 100% transparent, to let you know I'm human for everyone listening, I get stubborn sometimes in terms of like what I believe is right and wrong. And, a lot of times I am wrong. And if you just open up, just trust other people, especially experienced people, you could save yourself a lot of time and just heartache. I mean, a new thing that I got into over the last year or so was Inventory Lab. Right? Inventory Lab, which has saved me so many countless hours. Listing on Amazon. So that's one great way to start for sure. If you've got enough inventory and you're at that point in your business, is look to get off of listing on Amazon to something like Inventory Lab. And then you can look into repricers, and maybe, there was a comment that came in saying about the scanner. I want to read this real quick. It was a really good comment. Good Used Goods said, took your advice about a scanner, Steve. Oh my God, thank you, in caps. No way I would have made it through all the books without it. Plus, the phone has given me incorrect info. So I'm not sure what that last part means. Just know real quick, guys, if you're scanning, a lot of times, if you're using like a third-party scanning software, it's going to have to ping Amazon's API. So I always like to double check with Amazon. Do you do the same thing?
Yeah, I check with Amazon. I have all of them too. So like pretty much like I have pretty much every scan. You're talking about for mobile scanning?
Yeah, like if you're using like FBA scan, or you're using like NitoScan, because it is pinging Amazon's API. I can only show the 20, the 20 offers. Sometimes it will be wrong because it's pinging Amazon's API. They're only going to allow them to see so much information.
Yeah, it's not as good as it used to be, but it's still enough information that
Sure. Yeah.
unless things look really wonky, like or if there's a lot of variations, like for shoes, if there's a lot of variations, I'll go and see like if the shoe that I'm looking at is in the price range and not just an outlier or whatever. But yeah, you know, you were talking about the inventory lab as being a thing, like, because I'm doing the Scan Power right now and it's so cool. And by the way, everybody should get Scan Power Mobile. It's free right now. I don't know if you know that, but
I've heard about
if you
it.
sign up for an account through them, actually it's dollarmoves.com/SP, sign up for their account and you can get the Scan Power Mobile for either Droid or iPhone, and it doesn't cost anything. And they just came out with the new scanner and it looks sick, dude. You're going to love it. Like, you should just have it, like, have that, have Amazon seller app. And I mean, you've already got Scoutify.
Yep. I'm all loaded up.
Yeah. One of the things about Scan Power with because, you know, with your Dymo label printer, like that comes out one at a time as you're listing. It's a great thing. With Scan Powers, they put the fulfillment center on the tag, on your tag that you put on the product.
Oh, I see.
Sick. So that's
that
a
is pretty
whole
sick right
nother
there.
thing. Yeah.
Okay,
So,
that's a game. That's definitely a game changer. Cool.
yeah,
Awesome.
dude.
Awesome tips. We still have 72 people watching live right now at 4:42 Eastern time. And what is it over where you live right now? What is it?
142. Yep.
And where are you from again?
I'm in Oregon, actually.
Oregon. Okay.
Yeah.
So Pacific time. So I want to thank again everybody for watching. We're going to answer some questions now real quick. We're going to jump into the comment section. So do me two favors, guys and gals watching. Smash that like button. That's number one. Hit the like button.
Hit it.
You know, show some support. Helps to get this video out. Helps to let us know that, you know what, the content's good, so we could keep replicating it and making more content to help you guys. And number two, drop a comment or a question on the right-hand side if you're on a desktop or down below. If you're on a phone, ask a question. If you're facing any challenges or obstacles in your business, you know, ask away. You know, Rob and I have been selling on Amazon I've been on for a couple of years, and I think you've been on for what, 4 or 5 years now?
For 5 years.
5 years. So be sure to ask a question. I'm looking right now through the comments section to see if there are any questions coming in. Somebody asked, what's the most godly scanner that you can get?
What does that mean?
Like, I guess what they're trying to say is like the ultimate like scanner to scan books, like the Opticon, or
I use a ScanFob 2006, and that's pretty good. There's another one that scanned or gosh, I can't remember what the name of it is, but there's the one that they use on the glove. You know what I mean? Have you seen that? Yep. I don't remember. It's like called a bunch of different letters, and I don't remember the name of it. But yeah, there's that one too.
We got Cheryl Ann watching right now. What's going on, Cheryl? We got Amy Clock in the house. If that's your last name, I love it. I wish I had that last name. We got Garage Flips in the house. Parker Profits, what's going on? PP says, I love my KDC 200 scanner. Way better than a ScanFob. Isn't that the cheaper one, or no?
It depends. You can get them for cheaper. They used to be more expensive, but yeah, a lot of people. Bob Willie uses that one, so that's a great scanner, I've heard. And my next one, I'll probably get it. I just set up my scanner through. Do you use Serial Magic Gears to use your scanner? Okay.
Yes.
You like with Scan Power, they have a video that shows you how to get away from that, to where you treat it just like a keyboard. That used to only be able to be done with the iPhones, but now you can do it with Droid. So I don't have to ever like connect it.
It drives me insane, Rob. I'm telling you right now. The other day, I was at a thrift store. I wanted to punch myself in the face. I was going crazy.
Dude, amen, brother. Been there, done that.
Oh my God. I'm thinking to myself, you guys have this company where you're selling this high-end product. Can you not get something in line so this works? Like, it was driving me.
About 3 and then it just starts flashing or whatever.
Oh my God. I'm going to go into a seizure right now.
Yeah, try that. Seriously. Sign up for that free account, but like in the help section, he shows like how to do it. And I was like, because I didn't think you could do that. I thought it was only for the iPhone, but everyone was telling me, and I heard Bob Willie saying about his KDC, that's how he connected it. And so then I finally just did it, because that's the only way you can use Scan Power. And then I did it, and now it's like, so I checked all my apps. I checked FBA Scan, Repricer, Scoutify, scan power, and it works for all of them. So I can just go click, 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 and then it's all connected just like that. So it's super cool.
Louis the seller was asking, don't repricers contribute to the race to the bottom?
Not when you have minimums, and when you have it in a way where, I mean, it depends on what the bottom is, because if you have your minimum, that's your bottom, and they can't go any further than that once it hits that. So it really depends. See, one thing I've realized with repricers is that everybody buys their product at different prices. So if I'm out buying something at 70% clearance and you're buying something at 20% off of the same retail price or MSRP, we're going to have two different bottoms, right? And I may be cool with 50% where you want 100% ROI. And then we're going to have two different bottoms again. So my 50% is going to go down even further. So it really depends on the people that are selling. But no, as far as that goes, like, you set your minimum. So for me, for instance, when I set up my repricer, when I first put stuff in, I want 100%. That's my either 100% or more for my maximum. And my minimum, I put at 75% ROI because I'm fine with that. So if that brings it down to the bottom and I sell my stuff, it'll go back up if people, you know, but still, that's not a race to the bottom, not a pure race to the bottom.
Somebody's asking, so if I get the ScanFob 2006, what programs do I got to get? Well, if you're going to link them up, you're going to have to use the Serial Magic Gears or the other option that you were referring to. You're going to need a scanning app. So I don't believe you can use
you cannot on Amazon Seller app.
Yeah, you can't use the Amazon Seller app to scan. So what I mean is, if you've got your little barcode scanner, it won't link up with Amazon. I don't know why. Why is that?
I have no idea. I don't know why they wouldn't do that, because I don't know if you know this too, but the Amazon Seller app just connected Flow into the app.
Yeah,
so you can look at the front of stuff now, but that's cool. So why wouldn't they add the scanner option? I have no idea.
Bernard Armstrong saying, hey, Steve, I'm thinking of starting this FBA thing. What are the requirements for starting off on FBA? So if Bernard wants to start this FBA thing, Rob, what are the requirements? And I'm joking around the FBA thing. It's
well, I mean, I guess it just depends on what he's asking as the requirements. You can go sign up. Like, I just signed up with our account, and it's 30 days free on the professional seller account, but you can sign up. I think it's totally free if you decide to not do professional, and then you just pay per one you sell or whatever, up to, or 99 cents per, and then on top of the other fees. And then, but yeah, you don't really need a business license in the beginning if you're just sole proprietor going off your own social security number. I mean, you can get that later if you decided that you want to. It doesn't take much. That's why I started my channel about it, because you don't need, you know, and if you do FBA, you don't need a place to store it. So you can get the free Amazon app on your phone. So you need a smartphone. You would need that. Listing software. I mean, you don't have to have listing software. You can list right off of Seller Central if you want. It'll take more time, and then you just print it into 30 up labels on your printer. I'm trying to think, man, what else we got? Boxes and tape and stuff.
Yeah, just start buying inventory and, you know, determine if you're going to start merchant fulfilling your items or FBAing it. And, you know, one step at a time. You don't have to figure everything out at first. You don't have to figure out all the items you're going to buy, all the ways that you're going to ship, the best shipping labels, the best printer. Like, you don't have to worry about all that. Take it a step at a time. And get around a good community, whether that's in the green room or a free Facebook group or just commenting in these videos. Get around people and, you know, take it a step at a time. That would definitely be my best advice for you guys. But,
you know, I would say Robin Johnson has like a free course. You have to email opt-in, but it like talks about how to start selling books and then how to like sell them on Craigslist and eBay and then getting into FBA. And she does that so that people can figure out if the selling thing's even for them. But it's like a full on, like, how to do it all. Like, here you go. And she doesn't charge anything. So if people are interested in that, you can go to dollarmoves.com/Robin's free stuff. So
cool.
Yeah,
awesome.
I mean,
yeah, definitely check it out. I'm not sure who Robin is, but I believe you interviewed her on your channel, right, recently?
Yeah, you don't know Robin Johnson?
Man, I don't know everybody, man, but I'm better with faces. So maybe if I seen her face again, I would.
She spoke at CES. She spoke at ASD down in Vegas a couple of times. She's speaking, like, she's all over the place. She's a I think multi-million-dollar a year FBA seller.
Okay.
Still, I went down and visited her. Yeah, she's totally legit. Super trustworthy person. Like, I only recommend people that are trustworthy, you know?
Cool. Yeah. And that's why I had you on the show, man, because I trust you. And, we've talked several times. You're a real person and making it happen. And, that's what it's all about, guys, just spreading the wealth, helping out people. And I know that's why I started my channel, and we've talked behind the scenes. That's why you started your channel, because you really want to help
Absolutely.
people and give back and make a difference. And, you know, that's really what it's all about. There's enough to go around. So we're kind of getting to the end of, the show in terms of the time. Do you have any other comments or anything else you want to say real quick, Rob?
You know, don't take too long to take action. Don't get stuck in analysis paralysis. If you think it's something that the sacrifices would be worth the rewards, do it, because you don't want to be sitting here 10 years down the road going, what if? What else, man? And when you do start, we were talking about this before, don't give up too soon before the miracle happens, kind of thing. Like, let the business work, man. Get in there and work it 6 months or something like that. This business can pay you back so fast. It's amazing. My sister started in Q4 in October, paid herself back all of her money back, and was in total profit within 2 months. That's crazy for a business. That's not normal. So,
I know.
Don't give up before the success happens. And it's an amazing opportunity. And for me, the spark has been reignited, because we're starting this other business and starting like back where we used to be. And so it's really cool to like go through all the steps again and set everything up, and then start back in books and do it like fully and having just a little budget to start with. So it's really cool. Just, it's a great opportunity if you want to do it. It takes work, but you got to get out there and do it. You can watch YouTube all day long. You can be in Facebook all day long. That's not going to make you the money. You got to take the actions. That's the moves and dollar moves. And that is it, my friend.
Wow. I can't say anything else to that. Take action, guys. Make it happen. Rob, thanks for coming on the show. Really appreciate it. And just a lot of awesome comments coming in saying thank you. Appreciate the show. You're my go-to guy, Steve, for stuff like this. Louis the Seller, thanks for watching. Mr. Sadie, Bernard, Good Used Goods, Parker Profit, just a lot of awesome people. Garage Flip, Spooky, Sons of Pokemon. Thanks everyone for watching, coming in. Rob, thank you so much. Everyone, if you want to learn more about Rob Anderson of Dollar Moves, go to dollarmoves.com. That's your website.
Absolutely.
Go to YouTube, Dollar Moves. I'll link them up below as well, but check them out, Dollar Moves, just like how it sounds on YouTube. He's got over, how many videos? Over 200?
Yeah, 215, 220, something like that. So pretty stoked about that.
Yeah, so we got 79, 80 people still watching. Jenny Tobe saying thanks. Cheryl Ann saying thanks. Andrew Hislop saying thanks. So everyone's really grateful for you coming on, and thanks for sharing the wealth and taking your time to do this show. And I really appreciate anything I could do for you, Rob. Feel free to reach out. I'm here for you, man. And for anyone who's watching live, if you have any more questions, drop a comment below and I'll do my best to answer any questions, or if I don't know the answer, to refer you to somebody who does know the answer. So with that being said, thanks, Rob. Dollar Moves on YouTube, dollarmoves.com. Check them out. And, until next time, guys, we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.
Thank you for having me on the show, my friend. And thank you guys for being here. Take care.
Thanks, Rob. Thanks, everybody.